Yes, friends. Now in this video, we will discuss the data validation. With using of data validation, we will use the LAN, text LAN, whole number, what the functionality we will use. We can discuss here. So next, we will discuss with this functionality with using of data validation in the Excel. First, we discuss with the PPT. Then after, we will discuss with the example. So now you have to clear about this one. What is the data validation? Data validation, which is available in the Microsoft Excel file. It allows to do the following: create a drop-down list for item in the cell. You can restrict the particular entry. This entry will be not allowed to this cell value, such as a data range, whole number. Create the number rules for who can enter, what can value will be entered in the program. Create the prompt message, prompting from the message, explaining the kind of data allowed in the Excel cells. Create a message that appear when the incorrect data will be allowed. At that time, it will declare with this message. Select a range in numeric value that can enter in the cells and determine if an entry is valid based on the calculation in the other cells. Based on calculation, we can create the data validation. What is the data application to in a cells? It's a staff, wood number. This is a simply Excel drop-down list. You have to put out the value manually and you have to put out the value on the data validation on the Excel basis. You have to both the way. You without this, not one value is available from here. So this value is available from your side. Open the Excel worksheet where you want to apply the data validation. Open one Excel file, apply the data validation. Then tab the similar example in the next slide. We'll tab this example. Select the rail data to data validation. Data validation will be allowed. So for data validation amount, you can choose particular list. In this list, we have to take on and click on OK button. For example, in the table, you have to this value senior manager, board of managers, staff, SEO, SFO, prompter. These all are the value name, role in organizations and complete the course. This is example of data. You want to use this example of data by using of data validation of this value. You can put out any value from this cell. You have to put out this value. Data validation option is available from the data validation, select the data, go for the data tab. In the data tab, you have to want the data validation here. So you want the data validation, you want to select the particular data because you have data validation, you can use this data. Now, you get the data validation and pop-up box with list. You have to want to click in list and list you have to put the this value. Click on source table. You have to want the source table. You want this source table. In the source table, this is a basically, if you want to put out the one-to-one value, you can do this. If you want to put out the source value, you can both the way, you can do 41. You have to do this and put the value. This is a drop-down box. This is a list command. You have to list command. Now you have to drop-down box. You have to hide this column in the list option. So this drop-down box is available from your side. If the one time of drop-down box value is created, at that time you have to create a drop-down box, and with this value of the drop-down box, to create your own the value, own business with your site. Go data validation, input message. So the input message where you select this value. This is called input message. Both the option is available. Input message option is also available. Error alert option is also available. You know about that. There are lots of options. This list option we will create in lots of projects. So we want to create this project, but all other option is not we will use. So in this example, in this video, we will use all the examples so we have a clear idea about the data validation. This is called error alert. This is all the alert. Error alert, we will be using the error alert value. Stop, warning, information. What is a warning? What is the information? Option is valid or not? Option is not valid or not? This all are the option is available in your particular data. So data validation is very useful from your side. This is a list option. List option. time period, decimal, whole number, customize, all other option is available. Customize is that you can create your custom format in this parameter. This is all other option. Any value, whole number, decimal, list, date, time, text length, custom, all other option is available. Now we will discuss with the Excel file on the basis of this one. In this Excel file, we'll use the whole number, data validation with using of text length with custom format. All this format we will use in this format. So now we will share my screen with using of this one. We will share my screen. Here you can see this. I will share my screen particularly. Data validation. Here is lots of option is available. Whole number, decimal, text length, date, time, custom, all other option is available. Whole number option is available. Equal to option is also available here. Ignore the blanks. Decimal value is also available. In this decimal value, you have to put out the value. Date functionality between this date to this date. Time functionality always start time this one to this one between office hours work. This is time functionality. Text length functionality, and another is last is custom functionality. First, in this example, first we will use the first functionality is, for example, list functionality. We have a product. We have a purchase and sales items. Data validation. For example, list. In this list, we not select any value in the Excel file. We create our own list. Yes, definitely you want to create your own list also. This is purchase and sales value. You want to use this format in the purchase and sales format. This is purchase. If I'm select the purchase value, done, it will be select the value. If I'm select the sales value, it will be not select the value, but selected value always in a number value. What can we do? Data validation. First, criteria is what? If I'm selecting purchase, at that time you have to write down any number value. If you are selected sales value, at that time you not write down any number value. No value is allowed. For example, in a custom, I will write down this value equal to this value equal to purchase. Then okay. If I'm select this value is sales and write down any value, at that time it create an error because in a first drop down box, always select the value is what is purchased. Now I'm writing down anything, it will be allowed. So now custom format is clear. No format of the available in this value, at that time you will be used the custom format, which means that no other format, no other value is suitable from your side. So at that time you want to use the custom format. Custom format is very useful when you create your own parameters with this type. You want to use the custom format. So now you have to clear about why we use custom format with your structure. This is your custom format. Now, I want to put out only number, not put out the text. Data validation. We don't want to create a list. We want to create a custom format. In this custom format, we will use the custom and operator. This value equal to purchase and is number of this value. Only B2 value allowed the only number value, and B1 value is only allowed the purchase value. Now I'm writing down 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be allowed. If I'm selecting here the sales and number, it will be not allowed. Yes, I am put out here some input message from the here also. You have to put out here also. Please select purchase and write down only number value. You can easily put out this value. Here, value is put out here. Data validation, you have to purchase and is number of. Now you have to write down numeric value. It will be not allowed because this is wrong value. You want to put out error alert. Only number allowed. Here you can select the purchase value. Now you put out any textual value. It will be not allowed because only number value is allowed. You have to put out only numeric value. So now it is clear with the combination of numeric and with the combination of purchase. If now you have to clear about this data validation, this is useful from both the format and both the format it will be used. You can use and you can use or. Both the functionality you can use this. Or functionality and end functionality. Both the way you can use this functionality. Now you have to clear about this, why we use the end functionality, why we use the or functionality. Okay. Now this is your particular number. For example, you can write down the value, not a maximum of 100 number. So data validation, you can put out the any data validation number 1, for example, purchase number 1, number 2 functional, data validation, then go for the whole number. Number is between, minimum number is 10 and maximum number is, for example, 1500. Here I am writing down 1600. It's an error because it's a whole number. Here I am writing down 1499. It will be allowed because 10 to 1500 purchase item, you can have to purchase this value. Otherwise else you cannot purchase this value. This is called the validation of whole number. Error alert and input message. You have to clear about the error alert and input message. Now, purchase date. Here is purchase date. You have to write down particular purchase date on between this date to this date also. So you have to write out this date to this date value on the basis of this one. Data validation, date, between start date and end date. Which one is your start date? Which one is your end date? You have to decide your start date and end date. For example, I will write down 06, 01, 2021 and the end date 06, 15, 2021. Now, if you are writing 06, 07, 2021, it will be allowed. If you are writing 06, 17, 2021, it will be not allowed. Between this date to this date. If you are taking a particular date order on particular date and time, you have to use the equal to operations. You have to accept only 01 order. You have to create this value. If you are using 06, 02, 2021, this will be also allowed. You are accepting only 01 order only. You have to count this input message, error alert, accept only date first shown. You are writing down 06, 02, 2021, except only date first shown. This is cancel the value. Now you are taking 06, 01, 2021. It is accepted. Now you have a clear idea about the date, greater than, less than, all are the symbol functionality. Next, it will be date, time, and text length. Order, deliver, time. Compulsory order delivered time is 7 to 10 p.m. because one slot is only available. For example, I will write down 11. Not allowed. I will write down 08. Yes, you will be write down AM and PM also. This is, you can by default AM is considered as 41. If you are writing 7 AM to 5 PM, now you can consider here. It's a by default AM. If I am writing down PM, this also will be considered as 20. 20 this is the format of 20 hours, 24 hours format. So it will be automatically converted into 24 hours formats. So now you have to clear about the time format also. From time format, you want to use this format. With the using of this format, you have to clear idea about the format. This is your order, delivered time. Yes, friends. Now you have to clear about the text line. This is all are the format. Text line because between minimum and maximum. How to text line minimum and maximum value. For example, you have to order something at that time. You give some instruction at that time. He wants to clear about the remarks. Data validation. Text line equal to. What is text length equal to? Text length equal to 20 character only. Otherwise, else if you put out the minimum and maximum value also, between text length, minimum 20 character, for example, minimum 10 character is a remarks, and a maximum of 20 characters remarks is compulsory. With the 20, with the using of 20, it will be not allowed from your side. So you have to put out the order is order is only morning. Make sure that is repeat. If I'm pressing enter, at that time, if our cell limit is exits of the 20. Morning order, minimum of 10 characters. Will be allowed? Yes. You have to text length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Space is always considered as a one character. So make sure that you have to put out any space in between of the text. It will be considered as your particular value with between this value is minimum of this value and maximum of this value. You have to put out this character on the basis of text value. So make sure that this value is very important from your side. So text length greater than value, less than value, equal to value. This all are the option is available here. This all are the probability, any value. If I'm putting any value, then no any rules are applicable from particular sales. Yes. Now you have to consider this rules is applicable on this cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same. For example, rules is applicable from G1 to G6. So at that time, you have to select this particular all the cell also. Go for the data validation. Data validation, you have to use the text length, any rule, for example. I will use date between start date is today date and date is today plus 5 days, today plus 7 days. Okay. You have this is function, so I think so you want to add it equal to today. Now in this G1 to G6, any value you will be enter is make sure that today date plus today plus 7 days is only allowed. For example, I will write in 06/15 2021. It will be not allowed. If I'm writing down 06 01 2021, this is allowed. So make sure that this date is applicable from this particular date to this particular date. If I'm writing here, this applicable on 06, you have to select this particular range. This one. This is all are the data validation selected cell. You have to select the state applicable from this state from using of data validation. So you cannot put out the any other value on the basis of this one. For example, I will put out here 06/15/2021. This will be allowed because I think so this rules is not available on the 6th value. But I'm putting here. So make sure that this value is applicable from this one. Today plus 7. today plus 7 value is allowed from your side. So only today and today plus 7 dates is allowed from your side. Here we will write down from for example, I am going from data validation, and yes, we will put out any value. We will select only first and second row and applicable data validation date from between today, for example, yes, today plus today is 35 or 30 May. If I'm writing down 06 15 2021, it will be not allowed from here. This will be not allowed. If I'm writing here 06 1 2021, it will be allowed. If I'm writing here 06 05 2021, in the next date, there is a no any formatting, no any changes is allowed. So it will be not show here. It will be shown only for this particular value. Now we will select the particular value on this cell 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 for the data validation. Whole number, decimal. Decimal, it means that the number of this decimal value, particular one dimensional, two dimensional decimal value, point value. List, date, and time value. We will allow the time particular AM to PM. We will show one the decimal value equal to decimal value equal to compulsory 10. And okay, if I'm writing down 20, it will be error 10, 20, error between this value. For example, if I'm here from between this decimal value is between the decimal value 10 to 20, between this decimal value. So you have to put out this value on this decimal value. Between two decimal value, you can put out this value equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. You can put out the any value on the basis of this one. You have to put out this value, but make sure that you have to clear about the rules. So you have to clearing about this value. Otherwise, else you have not clear about this value. So you have a not create any rules. If I am using custom, at that time you have to know about the what is a custom formula, what is the if functionality. We will use this if functionality in this basis, right? So at that time it create an error. So we cannot use the if functionality. If we know about the if functionality, we can do it in easily. If we have no idea about the functionality, we cannot do anything. For example, data validation, custom, if I'm writing down if this value equal to, or this value equal to 10, then student is passed, otherwise student is failed. If functionality is working or not, if I'm writing the 10, it will be error, because no any suggestion from this side you have to pass or fail criteria. You have to put out the this functionality is for example, this functionality is a dynamic functionality, F4 functionality. So if the student is pass and fail, you have to not give here, you have to create a some formula. So if I'm putting the 10, this is does not match this value, because if functionality is directly not working in that way. You have to work this if functionality, but you don't have to this functionality on that way. If this value is 10, for example, this value is 10 and one value is 10, then the pass and fail, you have to put out this value. For example, you have to put out this value M1 equal to M2, then pass or fail. M1 not equal to M2, you have to put out this value, freeze this value, and B2 value equivalent to B3 value. B2 value equivalent to B3 value, then pass or fail. For example, here we will write on 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we will not particular example, we will pass or fail value because this is the direct if condition we cannot apply here to pass or fail. We can create our custom format with using of this one. In the next video, we will discuss the data validation if functionality, but we will not directly use if functionality on that way. So we cannot use this functionality directly with using of custom if functionality. In the next video, definitely we will discuss first the data validation if functionality, then we will do this. Okay, thank you, friends.